Well, hello again, and welcome again to your download. Always happy to have you stop by. Well, news of human wrongs and human rights starting us off today. The wrongs first, but at least in this case, wrongs now punished. This story taking us to Arusha in Tanzania. It's there, the UN's International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, finding 3 former Rwandan army officers guilty of genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. And among the 3 convicted, there he is, Theoneste Bagasora, former Army colonel, and fingered by former Rwandan UN peacekeeping chief Romeo Dallaire as, quote, the kingpin behind the genocide. Over 800,000 people were slaughtered in little over 3 months in Rwanda in 1994. Now, these 3 sentenced to life in prison. It's been 11 years that the court has been working on the prosecutions. Job well done. Well, speaking of well done, the European Parliament Thursday awarding Chinese dissident Hu Jia with the 2008 Sakharov Prize. That's its top human rights award. Mr. Hu honored with a minute of applause in absentia. Well, that's because he's currently serving a 3.5-year prison sentence in China. The EU hailing Mr. Hu as a representative of those unheard in China, while criticizing the, quote, dictatorial regime, unquote, that prevented his attendance. File footage of Mr. Hu here. Looks like a real threat, huh? Well, his work began with advocating for those with HIV and AIDS, but steadily grew to speaking up for those whose basic human rights had been trampled on by Beijing. Well, sour news continues to come from the American auto industry. Well, okay, sour for investors, bitter for workers. No better example than Chrysler's announcement this week that it will close all 30 of its manufacturing plants in the U.S. for 1 month, starting on Friday. Ford announcing a similar, if not as lengthy, plant closure as well. The reason? Too much inventory of unsold cars. Chrysler's sales in November alone sliding 47%. Egad. And if you think this is bad news for the American economy, just listen to an auto worker hit hardest.
It's going to be hard on everyone. Wife's back to college, but she won't be able to continue that because we won't have the money to send her. So I don't know where we go from here. I mean, there's no jobs around.
And what jobs there are in the auto industry seem even more tenuous than ever. Both Chrysler and General Motors have said that they might run out of operating money very soon without any help from Washington. And Ford isn't far behind. The Bush administration saying only that it's studying the matter and hopes to act as quickly as possible. Well, finally today, from an old industry to new, and a warning about friends who may not really be your friend. All right, check this out. An Australian court has ruled that Facebook can be used to inform homeowners in default that they're being evicted. Wow, talk about your super poke. This apparently the first ruling from a court anywhere that the social networking site can be used to deliver liens, summons, or other legal documents to recipients. Now look, this ruling may well be challenged in a higher court, but in the meantime, you better be darn careful about who you friend. Would this be a good time to remind you about VOA's Facebook page? Not quite sure. Well, how about if we promise not to serve you any subpoenas? Yes, just like yours truly, VOA has a spot on Facebook for friends. Now you can see all the latest VOA video, connect with some of your favorite VOA personalities, if you want, and mostly connect with other fans from around the world. Just go to Facebook and search for the Voice of America's page. You never know what or who you'll find. Although you will find me. Although I'm not sure that's the best sales pitch. Well, anyway, I'll be back with you here in the download chair tomorrow, and we hope to see you then.